I'm going to get straight into it. This is the 2024 Senate map prediction. And if you want to hear my analysis, why I think a certain way, instead of just seeing who's going to win, then make sure to watch this video from start to end. So, I'm going to start with the West Coast, with the state of Washington. It is safely going to the Democratic Party. So the state of Washington, if you see any of these predictions, Maria Cantwell is going to win in this election. It's safely Democratic for the presidential as well as the Senate election. No surprise here. California, Adam Schiff is going to win. He won a tight primary, but the general election is not expected to be close at all, so he will easily win. The state of Nevada is pretty interesting, though, with the state of Nevada having popular incumbent Jackie Rosen against Sam Brown, injured military hero. So even though the predictions view it as a tilt, and so do the polls, I love Sam Brown's story, and I think he's gonna win this Senate race. I think it's going to be an upset, but regardless, he's gonna win in that race, and Nevada will go to the Republican Party, inching them closer to the 50 people required to have a majority. 50 plus the VP, or 51 without having the VP, is a majority in the Senate. So now we have the state of Utah. Mitt Romney is actually not running for re-election, but it will go to the Republican Party. Again, solid R for the Republican Party. Utah, really no surprise there. Arizona, however, Arizona has been weird. Arizona has been going to Republicans in the presidential election, not in 2020, but that was very close. But it has been going to Democrats pretty safely. Not entirely safely, but by decent cushions in the 2022 Senate races as well as that of 2020. And I do think that Ruben Gallego will beat Kari Lake. Kari Lake has already lost, and Ruben Gallego is a pretty popular congressman. He will win in Arizona. In Montana has an incumbent Democratic Senator, Jon Tester, but Montana is a Republican state, and even though Jon Tester is a popular senator, it's still Montana. As long as Republicans field a formidable Republican opponent, they will win in the state of Montana. Wyoming, no surprise, going to the Republican Party. New Mexico, no surprise, Democratic Party. North Dakota, no surprise, Republican Party. Nebraska, neither of which are surprises, Republican Party. And now, Republicans already 45-32. The Democratic Party wins in the state of Hawaii, obviously, bringing it to 45-33. Republicans just need 5 more victories plus VP, or 6 more to have a pretty solid majority without needing the VP. Will they get one of these victories in Texas? Ted Cruz, we all know him, and Ted Cruz is likely going to win, but the polling has been concerning for him. It's pretty easy to see that he won this primary, but in general election polling, Colin Allred, former NFL player, he actually had a tie with Ted Cruz in this one poll. But it will go to the Republican Party regardless, but not as safely as people would expect from someone who almost won the nomination just back in 2016 and is a pretty popular guy and might win in 2028, the Republican nomination. Just not too popular in his state because, as we remember, he fled to Cancun during a crisis. But that aside, we go to the state of Minnesota, where it is safely Democratic because Amy Klobuchar, she is popular, almost popular enough for her to gain steam in the presidential primary back in 2020. Missouri, obviously going to the Republicans. Tennessee, Republicans. Mississippi, Republicans. Indiana, Republicans. West Virginia, Republicans. And I'm just going to make this simple. Vermont is going to the independents because that is Bernie Sanders, but he caucuses with the Democratic Party, so he really isn't an independent. He's more so a Democrat. Same with Maine, Angus King. He is more so a Democrat. That's why he's also highlighted in blue, because they really are also Democrats. And also Massachusetts, Democrat. Connecticut, Democrat. Rhode Island, Democrat. Maryland, Democrat. Delaware, Democrat. Virginia, even though it's narrowing up, Democrat. New Jersey, Andy Kim is going to win, even though Bob Menendez is marred with scandals. New Jersey votes safely Democratic almost always. New York, the same way. And now, in just such a simple manner, Democrats are already up to 44. They just need 6 more to make it to that 50 number. But as we can see, Republicans already have a majority. But how far will they actually extend that majority? We'll see with these upcoming states. We'll start with the state of Wisconsin. We have incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin and Eric Hovda. Probably mispronounced his name, but that's mostly because he's not important, and here's why. He is going to lose. He is not gaining steam. He already lost back in 2012, which was so long ago, but he already lost, and that just makes him a loser. He's going to lose this election to Tammy Baldwin, who's a winner. She's an incumbent. So we're honestly just going to have to move to the state of Michigan, where Democrats are yet again winning, making this 46. And even though Republicans have the majority, there are some senators that people call rhinos, Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, where really they may vote with the Democratic Party. So Republicans realistically need 53, 52-ish to have a safe lead where they can pass pretty much Republican legislation. They don't have to worry about any compromise. Some compromise, but they wouldn't have to worry about too much. So Democrats are really trying to hold off Republicans from that 52, 53 number because they really know that Republicans are going to have the majority, but they just don't want a majority enough where Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski voting Democrat won't actually change things. So, the state of Ohio, probably the most contentious state in the entire union. Bernie Moreno, not very popular, had a scandal attributed to him, but he is backed by Donald Trump. He did win in a pretty overwhelming manner over Matt Dolan and Frank LaRose, who were formidable Republicans. They weren't just random guys. Matt Dolan, related to the owner of the Cleveland Guardians, Frank LaRose, the Secretary of State of Ohio. They're formidable people, and Bernie Moreno just absolutely smoked them. So I really think due to this, even though polls are towards Sherrod Brown, who is chair of certain Senate committees, I think that Ohio will go to the Democratic or the Republican Party because of Trump's influence in the state, and it has been going towards the Republicans as of late. And we'll see with the Pennsylvania race, Dave McCormick, he narrowly lost to Mehmet Oz back in the primary just 2 years ago. But it is going to Bob Casey Jr., the son of former governor. I find it interesting. I mean, people are trying to pin Bob Casey Jr. as more of the middle-class guy, as opposed to Dave McCormick, but he's literally the son of a governor. When Dave McCormick, I see him more of a self-made man. This is just my unbiased opinion. I think those ads are a little bit misleading, but both sides of the spectrum have their sort of ads, that mudsling ads, that they're trying to misrepresent people. So take what I say with a grain of salt. And then we lastly have the state of Florida, which went to Ron DeSantis and Marco Rubio overwhelming fashion. It's going to Republicans yet again. Republicans win in the Senate races 53-47. And thank you for watching this and listening to me ramble about these Senate races. If you want to see me overtake Joe Manchin, who is not going to win in West Virginia, in subscribers, make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you. Also, we have just introduced channel memberships, and if you want some perks, then make sure to sign up for a low cost. And thank you to our first channel member, TheNoobiestNoob.